Well, hello everyone. Welcome to another weekly installment of, I guess we'll call it Gardening Live, where we have just a lovely chat about gardening. And we are in the season, aren't we? It's starting to get a little brighter and a little warmer, and our evening temps are coming up. So everything is getting safe to put out. So it's very exciting. The other day I saw this was a YouTube gardener, and they literally planted their entire garden in one day. And I just think that was kind of a miracle worker. And I think she has two small children. So I don't know exactly how that got accomplished, but I was terribly impressed. But I also am very impressed that it takes me a couple weeks to get it done because that's a lot. And she has a really big garden. So, oh my goodness. Anyway, I don't think it's a race, right? I think it's part of the enjoyment to be able to be out in nature, grow our own food and flowers, and enjoy the process. So let me just say hi to a lot of the folks that I see in the chat. Hello, Robin. Robin's going to be on next week. Mags, Mags Joe, good to see you, sir. Uh, let's go on. I think Pauline is here. Let me see. I gotta just adjust my thingy a little bit here. Andrew, hello, Leanne. Uh, Pat, Pat is here. Oh, it's so good to see you all. Anna. And if I miss anyone, know that I don't mean to. I'm either scrolling too quickly. Mel, I think I said hi to you, but I'm not sure. Joanne. Oh, look at all of you. So good to have you here. Yeah. I'm just going to adjust my screen just a mish. Um, so busy time, right? Uh, it is get in at first what you really need to get in. And yeah, and then just trying to get everything else in as time goes on. And you still have to be sewing the entire time because goodness knows. Oh, hi, Laura. Laura's going to be on at the end of the month. Can't wait. Hi, Mark. Hello, Papa Patch. Oh, Claire's in. Hello, Claire. Pedro, hello. Oh, from Sweden. Lovely. Welcome. So glad to have you. And we have Angela and Stephen. Well, Steve, we will let you just listen. Thank you. Thank you for doing that, though. And hello, Marie. Uh, okay, so I thought today, because it is that we're able to get things hardened off. I'm finding it, and hardening off is like really important so that what you're putting out from its more protected uh area is able to handle the sun, even it's overcast. I mean, indoor sun or lights are nothing like the outdoor sun. It's so strong. So, there is that hardening off piece. Oh, hi, Angela. Sorry, I just saw that you're near Heathrow Airport. Been there many times. Love Heathrow just because of what it means. I'm heading to one of my favorite places. Um, sorry. Okay, that distract. I'm sorry. I'm still getting better at reading comments and trying to keep my s- strain of thought moving in the right direction. Anyway, so we still have to be sowing our um, succession sowings, or we're gonna find ourselves, a month or 2 in and not have anything to replace what's come out because let's face it, if we're growing vegetables and things like that, the goal is to, oh my goodness, use them and eat them. So, uh, I have I thought we might talk about succession sowing a little bit, um, because it's hard to sometimes plan for the future when right in front of you is so incredibly busy. So I plant, and I'm curious to hear how you guys do this or if you do it. And it's not like um, you have to do this. I just find it a great way to, when I find a spot that has opened up because something is finished, I have something ready and able to go and pop right in. And I learned this particular technique from a gentleman named Philip Hurst, who I don't think is ever on the lives, but he is around the gardening community for sure. So I think many of you seen it. He always has like brilliant ideas and comments. And this is what he has done. And oh my goodness, it works so well for me. It's a manageable amount. It's one flat. So I do a flat that is a 10 by 20. That's what we have here in the US. And I do a 50 cell insert. And so I plant 50 plants every 3 months and until we're out of time. And I made a list so that we could just kind of talk about it. Um, so I have 50 spots for this 2 month every 3 month tray. And I do every row in my tray. I have a 10, it's 10 rows or 10 columns by 5 rows. So each column for me is 5 um, modules. So I do 3 of those full of greens of my choice. If I need more kale or want more kale, I can put kale in there. If I need more lettuce, which, in the summer, you kinda always need more lettuce, I can fill it all with lettuce. So that gives me 15 slots, uh, of greens. And then I do 4 or 1 row of 5 of spring onions that, of course, are multi-sown, so that they come when I plant them in, it's like I'm pulling out a bunch of spring onions. I do golden beets because I'm a lover of golden beets. So 5 multi-sown golden beets go in, 5 multi-sown salad turnips, those little white turnips, that are they're just so good and they grow so quickly. I do 1 row of mini broccoli, which, is like it's like they're kind of sprouting broccolis, but that's all they do. They don't ever form a head. They're not a purple sprouting broccoli, although one of them is purple, but it's not the classic purple sprouting broccoli. And so I'll sow 5 of those. So I always have a little bit of broccoli on the go. And then I plant a row of basil, a row of cilantro, and a row of dill. Probably 3 favorite summer fresh herbs for me, and they go to seed a bit quickly here in the summer. So I just keep sowing them. So that's kind of the tray that I put together every 3 months, and I understand this summer we're gonna have an incredibly, warm summer, like, hot, like, I might have to have shade cloths everywhere. I may up that to every 2 weeks just because of the heat is really intolerable. They're gonna bolt a whole lot quicker. So We shall see. But that's my plan, for succession sowing. Let me just back up the let me just back up a little bit. We've got some, um oh, Laura's saying that the sun has been so strong. Her tomato leaves are a little crispy. I feel like the sun I don't know what's going on with the sun because I have been out, I mean, obviously a lot of times, but a couple of times where I was more in the sun, but it was very mild and it didn't feel like I was getting too much sun. I get sunburns both times, and sunburns and me do not go well. And I realize so I bought like a gallon of sunblock that I gonna have to just dip myself in every time I go outside. But it almost feels like the sun's getting a little bit stronger. So yeah, I'm so sorry your little tomato plants have crispy leaves. I think they'll bounce back for sure. Hello, Major Dog from Edinburgh. Good to have you here. Uh, oh, Nicholas, sorry to hear that you're not doing well. Uh, you just do what you can do, and what you can't, it's okay because there's another year. We can always look to a different gardening year. We can always sometimes it's just really okay to sit and be with where you are right now, right? So I hope you feel um that's just perfectly fine. You don't have to be anything for anybody. You just have to take care of yourself. What's my favorite summer of heat tolerant lettuce? I like Adriana. I like a lot of the Batavia lettuces. I find Johnny Seeds is one of the best places to get heat tolerant lettuces. Because even some of their ones that aren't heat tolerant still kind of um, do well. Uh, I've even had romaine make it through the summer. So, yeah, I would check out Johnny Seeds. That's really my favorite place to go. Uh, oh, please, Laura, I can't tell you how well it works for me, and it's a manageable amount. And so all I do is I pull out all my greens and I keep all of this succession sowing in one little tray that of the seeds, and um I have all my varieties and I can switch it up every 3 weeks. I can leave it the same. I can and my greens, I have them stored by season. So honestly for me, because I'm gonna do my first one. I'm a little behind, and that's fine. I'm probably gonna do it probably this weekend. Uh, but I'll pull out my summer greens because I have a lot of lettuce growing right now at various stages. So I think I'll be fine. And we get hot so quickly that I try to move to a summer lettuce quicker than till it's actually summer. And it seems to do much better. So yeah, so I have this little row of seeds and I just switch it up every 3 weeks. I mean, it's super manageable for me and not overwhelming at all. Um, Joanne is asking if the mini broccoli are like broccoli rabe. Yes, in how they produce, and yet they do have summer varieties, uh, just like the lettuce. And again, Johnny Seeds is a very I find it one of my favorite places to go because it's geared towards a commercial grower, but the home gardener is, also what they have in mind. So, they're very clear about what like, they have a broccoli, um, planting schedule, so you kind of know, what to plant when. Like, here's some summer broccolis. Well, I never used to know that broccoli could grow in the summer, and yet theirs do just fine. So, yeah, and my broccoli rabe, a matter of fact, I started that indoors, which I know I shouldn't have. It all went to seed before it even went outside. So, yeah, that broccoli rabe really likes it chilly. Um, oh, I hope Nicola's feeling all these lovely words that are coming her way. Hi, Stephen from the Urban White Buffalo Farm. Good to have you from you're up there in Minnesota, aren't you? How's your weather up there? I think you're a little bit like us, like you get hot pretty quickly. Let's see. The Kentish Gardener. I love that name. You're Kent-ish. You're not fully Kent, you're just Kent-ish. Oh, yeah. The struggling. I'm still tomorrow or maybe even this evening, I'm gonna put my all of my tomatoes outside and all of my peppers to just get them hardened off. Uh, my peppers, and by that I mean my hot peppers. I guess, they're also called chilies. Um, boy, they have just not grown large. So it's action time. So I wanna repot those outside, leave them outside, and let's see if we can kickstart these because if not, there will be no hot peppers in my garden this year. Uh, yeah, By Gum is saying, which is also another cute handle, the sun appears to be white, not yellow like the old days. Geoengineering keeping the heat in as well. Yeah, it just feels like, man, it's strong. And and I know I have no pigment, so I'm not shocked that I might get a sunburn, but I never used to get a sunburn unless I felt it on my skin, right? I mean, you can always tell when, "Oh, this is too hot. I need to get out of here." Um, oh, Laura just bought Batavia. I think most of the Batavias, and don't quote me. I think most of the Batavias are heat tolerant. Uh, at least I know the ones I buy are. And, I would sure give that absolute shot. Um, and Lola Rosa worked well for you too. Okay. I've never grown that one. Uh, well, Marie, I think you're kind of onto the same let's see what she's saying here. Oh my, come on, stay up there. There you go. I succession sow mainly lettuce, peas, and onions in 6 ounce packs every 2 weeks, which is enough fresh veggie for me and my husband, as well as for our senior neighbors. Lovely. I think all of that is great. Uh, oh, welcome, Stephen, to having your first green stalk. Those are, oh, those are so cool. I just I shouldn't say I asked my husband to please put fresh dirt, fresh soil in. I'd used them for several years and I hadn't even been refreshing them. They were still doing great, but I thought, these guys need some these guys need some new nutrients. So we were able to get those all put back together and they look great and had a lot of I think I have strawberries in one. I have one of those little the smaller green stalk, pockets. I think they call it a leaf green stalk. So that's full of 42 strawberry plants, and then I have the other 2 filling up with herbs and lettuce. So I just love those. And I last year, at the end of the season, I purchased the automatic, watering systems for them. So we'll be hooking those up pretty soon too, and I can't wait to see how much better that makes it all function. Uh, yeah, yeah, I don't think they have kind of franchised yet their stuff. Um, and I mean uh, the green stalks. But I do know that now they're available in the UK, so which I think is wonderful because they sure weren't. Oh, here's Leanne, and I'm gonna ask more veteran, um, rhubarb growers than myself. I finally have rhubarb in my garden, but this is the first time. Uh, is it common for rhubarb to go to seed every year? That I have no experience with. Let's see. Lovely. Robin's finally able to get her peppers and tomatoes out, which I love that now, like you, we're done with the 40s. So it's like it's go time. Um, let's see. Tomorrow is finishing the onions and potatoes. Yeah, I have a lot of onions in, but I don't have all of my onions in. And I think I got to get these in, or by the time I get them in, it'll already be the long day they need to start bulbing, and they won't have enough energy to do that. Uh, Hi, Margaret. Yes, I'm very good, thank you. I hope you're doing well too. Uh, oh, I hope so too. Do you have mice too? You have a lot of challenges on that little plot of yours, Claire. With between that, is it the cooch grass, and some other things? You get a nice little bit of challenge. Yeah, this is trolled. You know, it's like buying tomatoes at the store. They're meh. I'm with you. Uh, yeah, I'm hoping my strawberries do well. They're June bearing. I usually get ever bearing, but I thought, it might be nice just to get a blast of strawberries, do what I need to do with them, and uh, not be concerned because I have them also. I planted them in a green stalk this year, and I also have them in my asparagus bed. So I'm hoping that they will do something. Oh, Robin saying here she gets rhubarb flower heads yearly. And you take those off, correct? That's what I have seen is that the flower heads need to come off. So tell me if I'm correct or incorrect there, but Mel is saying she has sugar snaps in a hanging basket and they're doing well, but I have to remember to water them. And but isn't that the truth with hanging baskets? Like I think they're very pretty. I actually have several of them this year, and that's the one thing that makes me nervous because I'm always thinking, how can I hook irrigation up to that basket? How can I like so it's not something that's relying on me to remember. It just kinda happens. So we'll see because they're very pretty flowers, and I don't wanna lose them. Uh, okay, here's this is from Joanne. Hi, Joanne. Not related to successional sowing, but to the folk in the US. I'm growing Yukon Gold tomato potatoes. What's the best way to eat them? Mashed, they look so creamy on US cookery shows. Can't wait to try them. Um, boy, Yukon Golds, I mean, for me, were the bog standard over here, and I think they're delicious roasted. I think they're delicious, I don't there's a kind of potato called, a Jacques Pepin potato, and it's you put your potatoes, in like I'm gonna say a frying pan, sauté pan, and you add, stock, like, vegetable stock, chicken stock, whatever it is that you like, and you let them cook away in that boiling you bring that up to a good little boil, and then once they feel kinda soft, you smash them in the pan, just, like, back of a glass or something, and you smash them, and then you let them cook till they're crispy on the outside, and, oh my goodness, those are fabulous for that. I haven't made those in a very long time. Those are an excellent way to eat those. I think because 'cause they're more of a waxy potato than, say, one of your big russets, so you can really do a lot with those. You're gonna really enjoy those. They're almost buttery before you do anything to them. Uh, here's Nicola. I have sweet peppers that are starting to flower. Oh, nice. Lovely. And this so you should be getting, some nice sweet peppers pretty soon. That's lovely. Uh, okay, rhubarb, cut them off. Does go to seed, need to cut out the seed stalk so it doesn't deplete energy from the plant. Awesome, awesome. My major dog's chiming in on that too. So that appears to be the thing, like, yeah, you cut them off. Perfect. Oh, it's mare's tail, Claire. Oh, sorry, that was which I guess is mare's tail and laziness. I bet those 2 things don't go together. Well, and I think, uh, that's a great thing. I don't buy them. I Here's what I buy sometimes in the winter if I just really want them for a salad. I get the little, they're very s the little cherries that look like they've been grown somewhere warm or at least inside somewhere warm, and they don't disappoint as much, but they never are as good as picking one right out of the garden and, putting it right on a salad, nothing like that. Pine berries are so good. Oh, yes, you are lucky. I think I have some starting, but they're so tiny. We'll see if we can get them to even be a viable plant by the end of the year. Uh, but, oh, once you have pine berries, oh my goodness, it's hard to eat a strawberry. Oh, the Kentish gardener has linked his irrigation sorry, her, uh, to my 6 hanging baskets. It worked well for the past 2 years. Well, I'm gonna have to look into that, because we do have irrigation, and I know it's just a matter of putting up, um yeah, running a little tube to it, so, uh Well, actually, Nikolai, there is now a company that does sell them in the UK. Uh, and I will try to find that. I forget what they're called, but they are exclusive to the UK, and they are the um, actual green stalk. So I think they might just be a distribution center for them. But I will try to find that and bring that to next week's live chat. Yes, exactly, Stephen. It's like a testone. Uh, yeah, but with potato. Yeah, yeah. I imagine they are. I'm gonna say ours are. Depends what you get them. You can get them, outfitted with all kinds of bells and whistles. I know they have sales, so I would wait for like they just had a big Mother's Day sale. So, you could get quite a good deal on them. Yeah, I will find that, and I kind of feel like I want a place maybe I could put it on my website, like some other across the pond things that I found that you can also use that we use a lot. Um, yeah, I've seen the little operation that they have, and it looks great. They're very handy. I mean, you can grow a lot of stuff in like 3 square feet. I mean, it's crazy. I was gonna say that's because you're lifting too many weights. Claire is watching this from bed. I love it. But if you've seen her latest Instagrams, uh, she's pumping a lot of iron these days. So I say that's a well-earned rest. Um, yeah, wouldn't that be awesome if he could stock those? Ian is such a good guy and does such a nice job with his store. Yeah, so I'll see if I can't find that distributor for you. Let's see. Lot of combo going on in here. It might be okay. Do I have nasty weeds like mare's tail and bindweed, or the likes that are persistent, annoying, basically a nightmare? Uh, I grow a lot out of raised beds. So, and my raised beds are quite tall because of my physical situation. So they'd have to be pretty darn good to get all the way up to the top of those. Um, but I know we have like perennial weeds, which I think a mare's tail and a bindweed are perennial weeds. I find, uh, yeah, not in my garden beds. I have not been plagued with that, at least not here. So but I'm not gonna say we don't have that because, I'm one person in a really big country. So I'm not gonna say, that's the case. So, but yeah, they're definitely perennial weeds, and sometimes the horrible weeds for me are like, what's that? Um, oh my goodness, it's got a little bellflower on the top. It's a little white bell flower, and you can't get rid of it. I mean, it will not stop. And there was a lot of it at the back of our yard when we first moved in here. So that took us several years, and they still come around um, pretty regularly. I'll think of that, um, and everybody used to really like it, and it was like a thing, and I'm like, "Ah, it's a weed." Uh, okay, there we go. Uh, Steven said he bought the 5-tier version for $99 and the Roots and Refuge channel discount. That's pretty darn good, dude. It's a good price. Lily of the Valley. Thank you, Marie. Yes. Oh, there you are. Sorry. Yes. And Stephen, thank you. Ah, yes, that's one that haunts me. I mean, it's pretty enough, but and it looks really nice if you have a more naturalized scenario that just fills in other under things. It's great, but whoo, there was a boatload of it. Uh, I might need to move countries. Well, Detroit is up and coming, so we'd love to have you. I don't have slugs either. Yep. But it's hot. It's hot here in the summer. I think that's our biggest downfall because I love that in the UK, uh, it's so mild. And I'm sure you have your hot days, but not hot like over here. So, anyway, well, Chris, we're glad you're here. Uh, yeah, it's that time of year, isn't it? And I do agree, Joe, it smells beautiful, but man, you just really gotta love it. So are you guys all finding that some of your perennial weeds right now are just coming out, um, with a vengeance? Because this is kinda their time of year, right? There's not a whole lot on the dirt yet or in the soil, so they've got kind of free reign. Uh, oh, yeah. Some of those invasive plants, they should come with almost like a nuclear warning on the front that says, "Beware, this will spread out of control in your garden." So um, unless you really want this, oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's like planting a morning glory. I planted a morning glory once, on this property that we've been in for like 15 years now. Comes up every year in different locations, and I think, "That has not been put here on purpose for probably 10 years." It still shows up. Yeah. Okay, no slugs. I imagine there are slugs there. I did actually see a slug, but it was one of those leopard slugs, which apparently eats other slugs, um, which I thought, "Wow, so maybe I just have the good kind of slugs." But we get too hot, and, I don't have a lot of places for them to hide, so I think that's why I'm not plagued at all with slugs. But I know in the UK that is like the number one nemesis because you have that lovely mild weather and we don't. So I kind of think, which would I rather have? I don't know. I'd really have to think about because I've never had to deal with slugs. So yeah. Yeah. Sorry. And you guys can actually grow purple sprouting broccoli over winter. I can't do that. I planted it once and yep, that was a big old. Nope. We get way too cold in the winter, and it's not a perennial here. So, we all have things we kinda have to deal with, right? But you're welcome to move over here. I'd love to have, all you lovely gardeners, in my neighborhood. So and my husband's a realtor, so we'll find you a nice house. Yeah, leopard slug, that was it, and yeah, I'm gonna keep my eye peeled for those this year, robin. I don't recall having those, but that doesn't mean I didn't. No, I thought the leopard slug wait a minute, I thought the leopard slug ate other slugs, and maybe that's why I don't have any. Because that big mamma jamma was going around and I mean, he or she was a large, large slug, almost what nightmares are made of for me. But I thought, well, maybe that's why I didn't ever have to deal with this. I got one of these big guys who's taking care of it. But I do watch for where I have like hidden things because I know that's a good place for a whole lot of those kind of critters to hang out. Uh, Joanne is saying, I grow in my back garden and weed once a week, which I enjoy, apart from my bad back. I have so much respect for allotment gardeners weeding. Well, some of those allotments are so big, aren't they? Um, I mean, I always fantasize that I would love one, but I think, okay, I have a pretty large back garden, but uh, yeah, they're huge, huge. Luckily, my husband likes to weed. I don't even know if I should say that. He doesn't like to garden whatsoever. He's actually almost an anti-gardener, but he will weed. So, I don't know what that's about, but he thinks it's like immediate gratification. Like, as soon as it's done, it looks great. I agree with that. So he does that, and I am happy, 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 happy to let him. Uh, so what's the biggest challenge right now for everybody? Are we all, like, moving towards getting everything planted in? Are we feeling the, "I've gotta do this," push? And honestly, we don't have to do anything, correct? It it'll catch up. I think nature has a way of bringing it all together, no matter what we're doing, and oh my goodness, I've missed a whole bunch of stuff here. Wow. Uh, Now, okay, with the slug thing, I do occasionally see that that slimy path they leave? I have occasionally seen that, but no. Oh, I love it. No, the cicadas have not arrived yet. I think Robin is gonna get them first because she's much closer to the epicenter of that whole nonsense. But we were out just last evening, on the deck and no cicada noise. But I am gonna actually record the cicada noise, um, for everybody and try to get it at the correct volume because it gets so loud, and this is without this, like, cicada palooza we're gonna have this year. You can barely have a conversation outside. They are so They are so loud. So, thanks, Joanne. Yeah, he's a keeper. I've kept him for a long time. Yeah, longer than I'd like to admit that I've even been married because I feel like, "Am I that old that I could be married this long?" Uh, oh, they're coming north. Robin's counting the days. They're in Southern, Illinois right now. Yeah, you'll have to let me know how those sound. Uh, oh, what's a slug trap? Is that like the little beer traps that you fill up and let them, r fall into because they like the smell of the beer? Uh, oh, yeah. I think Jessie from Plot 37, at least this was on Potty Mouth, I think this last week, has said she will get hers done within 2 weeks. Unfortunately, she should never say that when, Tony has a recording device because that's gonna come back to bite her if she doesn't. So, I don't, I work hard not to commit to anything on that show because I know it will come back to bite me, uh, which is, I guess, kind of the fun. That's half the fun of it. Um, okay, Mary Louise is saying her biggest challenge is space. Yeah, uh, and I cannot throw out a viable plant. It is it's really beyond my heart cannot do it. So, I always try to find somewhere to shove it in if I can't give it to someone. Um, so, yeah, it's hard, but you wanna start more than you know you're gonna need just in case something goes wrong because you can't always just go, "Oh, I'll just restart it." Well, that doesn't work. Some of these take a long time to start. I couldn't imagine starting my chili pepper seeds right now. No way. No way they would, do but I know I have twice as many little struggling chili plants than I'm ever gonna need, but if I get them looking good, somebody isn't gonna take them and take care of them. Um, okay, well, I guess that's a nice way for a slug to go, right? If they get so blind drunk, they drowned. I mean, there's probably worse ways. I have these sticky yellow sheets of death on my grow shelf that which I think is really kinda cruel and unusual even to a gnat. Like, just go there and get stuck and die, and we'll just all, enjoy your death. Um, oh, that's awesome. Thank you. We have so much fun, and half the fun, honestly, is behind the scenes, which I think is it's just it's I feel like I fell in the honey pot with that group. They're all just lovely, lovely people. Alcohol-free Guinness. Okay, what? Surely there's no such thing as alcohol-free Guinness, or at least I've never heard of it. But wow, I kinda can't wrap my head around that one. So is that really a thing? Alcohol-free Guinness. Okay, why is my thing doing this? There we go. So there is such a thing. Wow. Well, if you're given the oh my goodness. Wow. That seems the whole point of Guinness to me. But anyway, but if you're given the slugs Guinness, I'm like, don't you guys have more of a swilly beer around there? Uh, wow. Yeah, I've never seen that. No kidding. Huh. Wow. I'm just reading that you can even get alcohol-free gin. Okay. Now they are drinkable. I love it. Uh, wow. Okay. Well, we digress talking about non-alcoholic beer. Okay, so what is everyone's plans for this? We have about 9 minutes here, so let's talk about what your plans are for this coming week. This will be May 15th through what, the 22nd? So we're almost getting to June here. And I'm not trying to wish the summer away. I'm just saying we're kind of getting there. Okay, so what are our challenges? I think my challenge is I have too many plants at this point. And I'm doing this garden party at the end of July that I've talked about a few times. Just found out that we are also going to be hosting a wedding in our garden 2 weeks before that. So I am feeling a little of that pressure. My youngest daughter has decided this is where she'd like to get married, which, okay, never dawned on me to do it here because we don't have, I mean, we can handle, I think it's going to be like a smaller, obviously a smaller wedding, but never. So anyway, it's just putting up another little layer of, oh my goodness, this all has to get done. Um, Robin's garden. Wait, Robin is saying she wants to plant it all out and tear down my zipper greenhouses. That is a good goal, depending on how much you have to plant out. Because, yeah, if there's too much there, that Stella, you're a woman after my own heart here. My challenge is time. Yes. Yes. Yeah, my eyes are always bigger than my time and my garden, usually. I have to clear loads and loads of weeds and plant out brassicas as well as building structures. Okay, Chris, you've got that's a big goal. Good. Good for you. Let's see. Joanne, plans for the week, planting out sweet corn, sowing some successional herbs. Lovely. I am not growing corn this year. And that was just a straight choice. I just decided, you know what? I don't I don't really have a great way to keep the squirrels from crawling up the stalks, even though I've wrapped them. I've Those squirrels will be the death of me. Um, would be the death of me for sure. That's lovely. Will she say her vows under an arch of French beans? No, actually, we are draping one of the branches of our magnolia with like a chiffony kind of fabric that will make it look like an arch. But it's very elegant. I'm very excited about it. And then we're hanging a faux chandelier from that same branch. So hopefully it'll look cute and a little romantic. So, yeah, so that's kind of pushing me to go, "Oh my goodness, I need to re" I was like, "We need to do something about all the weeds in the backyard lawn." Because now all of a sudden you look at things maybe with a different eye than you did, when it was just you. So anyway, um, Mel is saying, "Hoping to get the tickets I won." Okay, plant potatoes and onions and try to get some toms and chilies planted out. And weed, weed, weed. That is I've gone no dig in, like, all of my beds, and that's the one thing I really have found now after doing it. This might be my 5th season of doing that. My weed pressure is so good. Like, I have to pull out a few. So, I mean, there's something to that. That is for sure. And if it's not that, whatever's going on, I'm very much liking it. Margaret is I'm offloading all my flowers, herbs, toms, and chilies out of my conservatory to my charity plant sale. After that, I can sow my beans. Awesome. Good. Well, good for you. That is a great way to make sure someone will take them home and do something with them. I've decided this year not to sow as many seeds as people do on the channels I follow. I'm in control. Wish I had started more lettuce earlier. Spanish bolted, and I have bare soil waiting. Well, that's why we start all those extra seeds. But yeah, no, I am in control. I agree with you. I just I'm I don't like not having something ready in the waiting in the background so that I can just pop it in and we're done. Let's see. Stella's saying she has so much to do, more than the energy I have. And let me just say this. As someone with, a chronic illness, we can do what we can do. And we can keep things I think you could keep things uh kind of at bay and don't, it's not worth stretching yourself so far that you're, down for days because you pushed it. It's this is gardening. It's a hobby. It's supposed to be enjoying and provide, a little bit of mental health from all of the crazy we deal with on a daily basis. So I say be kind to yourself. And, things take me, even if I were fully able bodied today, things would take me a lot longer than they did when I was 34 than they will today. So I think we all just need to, in our heart and in our brain, just do a little readjust that we still can do it. We're doing it way differently maybe than we used to, but we still get the enjoyment of doing what we want to do. So I say embrace that it's going to take you longer and, just be happy again that you can do it. Uh, because I sure am happy that I can still do it, even if it's using another person to be the hands and feet that I can't be. I have the knowledge in my head. I still know how I like it. I still know what I want to grow. Um, yeah. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Anybody else? Oh, Robin got a dwarf mulberry. Okay. Pedro's getting his, tomatoes out. Let's see. Chris is saying it's great chatting with you, Audrey, and seeing you on Potty Mouth. Thank you. I just love it. And that's like one of my I look forward to that every week. They're just fun. And Tony is he is such a huge personality, isn't he? I just love it. Um, Thank you, Major Dog. I love that name. Uh, okay. Well, gosh, thank you so much. Uh, oh, we're gonna close on this one. This is a good one from Chris. Thank thank you for that. Gardening is good for you, whatever you have, whether you have a disability. So if you don't enjoy it, don't do it. Do what makes you happy. Absolutely. Life is short and full bodied or partially bodied or whatever. Um, we got to do what we love. And I feel fortunate that in a position where I can have a garden uh, helper, a young woman who is learning gardening. Like, man, she's going to be a good gardener when this is all over. Um, and it fulfills my need to still want to do this. So I say to all of you now, you just have, um, oh my goodness, a lovely, lovely week wherever you are, stateside or across the pond. Have a great week. You set some goals, do your best to meet them. And if you don't, there's another week coming. So, uh, so glad you were all here. I look forward to this uh, because of these lovely chats we can have. And I will see you. Video coming out tomorrow about planting. I got a David Austin bare root shrub rose. So I did a video on us planting that. And yeah, so trying to up my getting the videos out game. So I'm not just always chatting. So anyway, okay, you all have a great week. And at same time, same place next week. Robin is here and uh maybe we'll have another guest. I don't know. We're kind of getting into that busy time of year. So anyway, you all take care and boy, just enjoy some gardening this week. Okay? Bye now.